most, I want to ask you guys, and I asked Sharon and Vicky, but as far as this last week and having Alexa on the call to talk about, what she does, how she is running her business, what are a couple of things that you guys took away from that you're like, yes, I'm implementing that into my business right now?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, definitely need to do a little creative thinking outside the box with recognition.
Okay.
I think we get really tight into the Success Club and but everyone motivates differently. So I want to do that. And also some incentives, I think, though I loved her massage idea. I just haven't put anything into play yet.
That was one of my favorite, a couple of my 5-stars. I was like, dude, this is an awesome takeaway. I love that.
Yeah.
So much better than here's a personal development book. Here's a massage. Oh my God.
It's so true. Anything else? As far as, were you guys able to figure out your SC base? Okay. And most of you should know it because I send it to you and I'm like, yo, this is what your numbers are at. And you're like, okay, you know what I mean? So if you don't know that number, please, please, please reach out to me and I would love to, because that shows what's duplicated and what is not. So if you're constantly running your business and your SC base is 1 or below, that means nothing is duplicating. And what you're creating is not really out there. Maybe it's you're hanging out with your old coaches too much and you haven't created new blood. That will only create you to get stagnant. And that's exactly what I don't want to happen. Okay. So I'm going to really challenge you guys. If you don't know your SC base, if it's less than 5, you must get it to 5. When you get it to 5, that's when you're kind of on that edge of are you going to hit elite? When you're on your way to 10, you pretty much have elite in the bag. Okay. So numbers don't lie, unfortunately. It's really actually a great indicator to see where you're truly trending and where you're at. Okay, so with that being said, this is by far one of the best trainings. Woo! And I don't say that because I'm teaching it. I say it because honestly, you can only not do this for so long. And if you don't focus on time management and the 3 vitals, I promise you, nothing will duplicate and you'll build a very shaky foundation. So this is going back to the basics, but I want you guys to take this and immediately take it to your team. The beauty of it is I've taught it a couple times now, and I taught it with my 5-star diamonds, which they thought it was the biggest piece of gold they've ever heard. And these are my 5-star diamonds. So I can't wait to hear your takeaways. But more importantly, I want you to then go and train your team on it. I want you to go on your team call and be like, okay, we're going back to the basics. This is what it is. Okay. So first and foremost, the 3 vitals. If you're wanting to build energy within your team, that is the number one thing to do is the 3 vitals. So my first question is what program are you doing? And I'll post this all in the group, but you must be doing some sort of program. Not only that, what is your next program you're going to do after that? And then Hammer and Chisel, everybody will say that in December because that is going to be stinking amazing. So I want to know your next 30, 60, 90, 120-day plan of what program you're going to be doing. Same thing with personal development. What are you reading now? Not what did you read last month? What are you reading this very second? What are you dedicating? Sharon's laughing like, yep, we've all been there. You know what I mean? And we're still using those same takeaways. I promise you, in this business, this is the only way that you can continue to, I don't want to say bleed, I want to say really ignite some souls and show more compassion and love and understanding. Because in this business, it's very easy to see, maybe you're dealing with a challenger that needs to lose 100 pounds. And I will promise you, me being a personal trainer, I know we have to correct everything inside before it will duplicate on the outside. And so to bleed into those people and to bleed that love and support and attention and affection, you have to become the best you. How do you do that? Personal development. I'll say this once and I'll always say it because this allows you to kind of know where I'm at. But I love you, Vicki. But the biggest thing that helped me, this last year I've been going through a divorce. The only reason I was able to get through that is because of personal development. And without it, I would have been a hot mess. Not a good one like Melanie Mitchell, like a hot mess. But I focus on me and what I can control. It is just like Lindsay Matway said at Summit. The only person you can change is you. So you have to do that through personal development. Okay. Also, it's easy. It's easy to do. It's easy not to do, right? Read 10 pages a night. That's kind of like the bare minimum. So if you're a rock star, 20. Scotty Hobbs is like an hour every single day. It's incredible what that can do and change for you. And once you start doing that, it duplicates in your downline. Also inviting. What are you doing to invite? I have a lot of coaches that invite 100 prospects a week, and they do that in 2 and 3 days, or they go for 10 a day, or they go for 15 a day. Whatever it is, find a process that works for you. And I know some coaches that if they do 10 a day, they're like, oh, it just kind of gets the same thing that I'm doing over and over again. So they go in spurts, but they get the job done. So my question for you is, what are you doing to invite? That's 80% of what should be going on within your business. So make it fun, make it something new, but you need to continue to invite. So I'm going to ask those 3 questions, and I'll put it all up in the Facebook group, and you guys can answer it in there. But I want you guys to always be on the cutting edge. That's what duplicates. 3 vitals, easy to do. 3 vitals, so easy not to do. Make it easy to do, please. Also, this will build energy with you, your new coaches, your existing coaches, and it just builds an expectation. This is the number one thing. Every time Carl's here in our office, it's the number one thing he talks about is the 3 vitals. Okay, so that means it's very, very, very important. And like I said, I'll post it in there. So to kind of get started, have you guys ever heard of the 5 buckets before? No. Yes? No? Okay, cool. This will be something great because I've condensed it. So because I want you guys to be able to take it back to your team and be like, okay, this is what we need to do, okay? So the 5 buckets. If you are feeling, and I'm going to go to my notes because if not, I'll talk all day. You guys all know that. If you feel like you're reacting to fires, losing your passion, can't handle all the stress, it can be tied back to you being too busy, having too much on your plate, or saying yes to way too many people, okay? The most liberating thing you'll ever learn is to say no. I promise you that. And you're not spending enough time in the areas that give you the best rewards. The best coaches in this business work 4 to 6 hours a day, 5 days a week. Can you guys agree with that? You guys do that? Okay. Try to, right? Exactly. So I want you guys to grab a piece of paper, a blank piece of paper. Okay, perfect. On this blank piece of paper, first and foremost, this paper is huge. This represents all the no's that you have said. This is a clean slate. This is an opportunity to create something that you are so passionate about because you have left everything else off of it. No mommy, no PTA stuff, no gym stuff. If you work at a gym, everything's a no, okay? So this is an opportunity for you to rebuild your life in a way that you can control and dictate. You have told everybody no. Everybody. And you're starting fresh, and this is the most empowering process. So on that piece of paper, I want you to draw 5 buckets. And they can be the world's atrocious buckets. I don't care what they're like. They're your buckets. And it should take you about 2 seconds.
What?
Unless you're an artist. Okay, in those 5 buckets, I want you to draw a big bar, 3/4 of the way full. Just a big line through each of them. Okay? That symbolizes that each bucket does not bleed into another. You know what that means? When you're with your family, your cell phone, your laptop never go in that bucket. Your family's gonna start to love me, okay? Yeah, the reason I say that is when you are 100% focused in that bucket, you can give your 100% time. If you do not have a supportive spouse, family, children, whoever it is, it's because we've allowed too much to bleed into that family bucket or whatever bucket it is, okay? So that includes date night, one-on-ones with kids, and honestly, nothing else goes into that bucket with it. When you are in the bucket, you are 100% focused and in tune with what's going on, so there's no competition. Don't you worry. There will always be 2 buckets for Beachbody, so you don't have to worry about that, okay? Every bucket is going to get a name and a color and a weekly time allotment. Each bucket will have 2 to 3 top priorities or activities you can do in the bucket to help maximize your time. You must limit yourself to 5 buckets. I've had coaches be like, I have 7. I'm like, no. Spreading ourselves too thin. too thin. Okay. So now it's time for you to determine your 1 through 3 buckets. And they can be whatever they are. I mean, whatever you want. I have mine right here. And you're going to laugh because I drew my bucket at the top and then I listed. But I'm not an artist. Okay. So my first one is personal. In personal is personal development, my workout. I even put food prep. You know, anything that I personally is going to allow me to function for the week and for the day, that is in my personal bucket. My second bucket is my family. That is my brother, my sister. That is because I lived in Florida for 5 years. And so now I need to revalue those relationships. You know, while I was gone, my father got in a motorcycle accident and is now completely handicapped. And so now I have to help my mom out more. You know, things change. So I put family as my second one because that is by far one of the biggest reasons I came back to Utah. My number 3 is relationships. Relationships with existing friends, creating new friends, you know, now coming back single and all my girlfriends have 2 to 5 children. I don't know if we really relate too much. I mean, I love being there. I love being an auntie and be able to spoil or walk away, not a problem. But we're different now, right? Okay. My dog can only play so much with all those kiddos. Okay. So it all depends on where you are at and what is important to you. Okay. So now buckets 4 and 5, like I said, are for Beachbody. Number 4 is your Beachbody personal activity. This is 80% of your time. This can include your marketing strategy, your blogging strategy, bringing new customer coaches, working with new personally sponsored coaches in the first 90 days to help them get to 2-star diamond as fast as possible. If you know me, I always talk about 2-star diamond, right? I will preach it to the choir, 2-star diamond. Second CBC, plus all the other benefits, plus you build a strong foundation, okay? Also, getting rid of that diamond mentality. That's a huge reason why I actually do the 2-star diamond approach because it's so much more than a diamond coach. All right. Also, it can be prospecting and working with these new 90-day people right from the get-go. That's your 80% of your time. Your 20% of your time is on Beachbody organizational time. It's anything you can do with your personally sponsored coaches outside of their 90 days, developing the right type of culture, leaders on your team, the right environment. And I had a 5-star diamond actually last week ask me this question. She said, Brittany, but if I'm helping them get to 2-star diamond and above, they should be actually in my 80%. And I said, well, in that first 90 days, you should set up the expectation. They should know where they're going. And by there, they're just continuing to create that momentum because you've already given them all the tools. So yes, you're going to give them some time and some love, but you should have done that in the first 90 days. So make sure your time is correctly allotted there. Of course, you can use a Microsoft Office. You can use Outlook. Calendar is a great way to kind of organize this. I know since Jeremy Red is actually the one who created this, now all of our work stuff is exactly in these colored buckets. So I know when I look at my calendar exactly what that means. You can go back to an old-fashioned planner. I like to write things out. That's me. I'm kind of that old school approach. Yep. And Shalene Johnson would tell you to get rid of that crap. And I say, you know what? That is my soul. Yes. A passion planner. Have you guys heard of a passion planner? Okay. That's really awesome. Yes. Love it, love it, love it. All of you are like, yeah. Okay. So you're kind of old school like me. You like the paper and pencil, but I like it. You get to mark things off as you go, right? A sense of accomplishment. So I kind of want to break this down for you guys. So let's say you're a brand new coach and you have 20 hours to work your business. 15 should be set aside for personal time and 5 hours should be set aside for organizational time. So that personal time, that is your Beachbody. That's number 4. Okay. And then that those other 5 hours are in that 20% category. You can set this how you want, but never let the organizational time overtake the personal time. Stay focused on your personal time. Same thing. You're feeling stagnant in your business. You're feeling like, you know what? Nobody's duplicating. Nobody's hitting Success Club. It's because you have switched the two, and it's easy to do as a 4-star diamond because you feel like you have built this amazing team and everybody needs your support and everybody, yeah. I promise you, it's only a matter of time before everything becomes stagnant and nobody's hitting Success Club, and that duplicates. You want to set up a process that's going to duplicate. The question for you. Wow, I just preached this. Why is your personal activity more important than Beachbody organizational time? Did you guys get my last point?
You're leading by example.
Thank you. I love it, John. Yes, your business isn't stagnant. Leading by example, okay? Whatever you are or are not doing, your team will also do. If you aren't bringing on new leaders and new team members, they won't either. When you get up in the morning and look in the mirror, that's who you are going to attract. It's you. So with that being said, are you a leader? Are you ready and are you prepared? You'll draw these people in your life if you are. All right? Okay. So review the 5 buckets and how you can maximize your time in your buckets. Once this is done, go and schedule these into your calendar and master it. I do different colored highlighters. You guys can really do however you want to do so, but find a color code that kind of works for you. So you know every time that something is highlighted in pink, it's your family time or whatever it is. I have coaches specifically do everything in blue. Beachbody, obviously, kind of represents what we are, right? So you kind of figure out that. But the whole point is that you master this. And the reason I say this, and you guys are going to probably kind of laugh, is because you kind of have to compare this to the first time you did a program, right? Remember the first time you did a program and how, I guess every time you do a first program and you're like, ugh. I felt that way 12 times over with 21 Day Fix Extreme Pilates. I am not a Pilates person. I don't like those active recovery days. I like to throw around some weights and feel like a sense of accomplishment. And I will tell you, the first time I did Pilates Extreme, I wanted to take off the band, I wanted to throw it, and I wanted to be like, I'm done. And then every time I did the program, I never did Pilates. And I was like, oh, that's probably the one I need the most, right?
I call that one 50 Shades of Autumn.
Yes, exactly. Ugh, just shoot me, right? And what's funny is now, I love that one. I will not miss it. Every Wednesday, I will not miss that workout because I mastered it. So what I'm trying to get on this with my little soapbox here is you have to repeat, you have to practice. So every time you're out with your family, it is very hard to not be like, oh, sweetie, just 1 second. It's a challenge pack. It will take me 10 minutes. No. Business will wait. Your coaches, your challengers will respect the fact that you have business hours, and they will want that. The biggest turnoff is when somebody doesn't step out of the box. Like I think of when I go to dinner with my little sister, and I will tell you, she's on her phone like this, just texting. I'm like, hey, I'm right here. You know what I mean? Like, you came to dinner with me. Hang out with me. And that's what your family is saying. That's why they're maybe not supportive. But honestly, focus on the bucket and stay in that bucket until the task is completed. Okay? Perhaps part of the week you should be spent planning this. Maybe it's 5 minutes before you go to bed. Maybe it's 10 minutes when you wake up. I've heard both, personal development will tell you to do it before you go to bed so you don't think about it, so you don't toss and turn. I say do it first thing in the morning, whatever it is. I do mine on Sundays. I set up my entire week. Find what works.
The way you start your day is the way your day is going to go. So
there you go. See, I like it. But taking 15 minutes a day or setting aside time during the week to plan the week will make you stay within your buckets. The weekly planning meeting and daily planning meeting with yourself, planning the next day, blah, 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 allows you to mold, tweak, and figure out what you're going to do next. It's like meal prep. Okay, if you have meal prep, you know what you're going to eat when you're going to eat it. And when you don't have meal prep, somebody says Wendy's and you're like, I'm there. Okay, you plan of attack. The great thing is that you will start to communicate with those around you about your buckets. They will know when it's your personal time, Beachbody time, family time, and they will help you stick to it. I have a lot of coaches, maybe stay-at-home moms during the summer specifically, that put their children in camps or put them in the Y. And I want you guys to know you are not a bad parent by doing that. First and foremost, your children need to interact with other children. But second thing is, if you are trying to create a life by design, by you taking 1 hour out and allowing them to play and do something fun so you can bust out some stuff, that is okay. I have some coaches that get a nanny and have a nanny 3 days a week, and so they can devote to their business. You need to remember you're an entrepreneur. Okay, so you need to take time for you. And I know many of you that do have children are saying, hallelujah, school is starting, right? Yeah, Vicky's like, amen. Well, I get it. So now I want you guys also, when you go to teach this to your team, is compare it just like I did to my workout program for them. So, hey, remember the first time you did, I don't know, any program, Brazilian butt lift. I've just thrown it out there, right? Did you master it the first time? No, you probably didn't. But this will help you set up a foundation of success, okay? Let me see what I missed over here.
Can I add something to one of the things you said about the buckets? I have a really good girlfriend. She's not on my team of coaches, but she's always on her phone. Like, she will never miss returning a message, no matter what she does. And I told her, I said, do you think, she always complains about never being able to add or recruit coaches. And I said, because everyone's watching you work 24/7 and no one wants to do that.
Yes, amen. And I have said that 1,000 times over, because I actually had a really great friend who's a high up in another company, and she recruited me like crazy for years. And finally I just looked at her and I said, Sarah, girlfriend, as much as that is a huge compliment and clearly I can be successful if I come along with you, I don't want your life. I said, you never stop working. Right. That to me, no thank you. So you hit that on the head. You're absolutely right. If you're burning a candle at both ends, that's what you're going to attract.
Yep.
Thank you. I love that, Vicki. Good job. That was a good one. So also, what was I going to add to that? Okay, if we're limited, we can't be our best self to our family, coaches, and organization. Of course, you can name and categorize these buckets as you see fit, but the key is to limit yourself to these 5 buckets. Don't go anything over. That's just going to be you dispersing your time a little too thin, as always. You cannot cheat this process. Well, no, you can. You can cheat it at 1-star, 2-star. Pretty easily, right? But as you progress and become more influential and impactful as a leader, 3-star diamond, 4-star diamond, 5-star diamond, and above, you will get overwhelmed. It will help you filter and prioritize like nobody's business. Okay? And as you duplicate this with your team, they will thank you for it. They will see new things and new ways to do their business. They are trying to make too many people happy and be involved in too many, and it burns them out. Okay. So I'm just going to add on I've said a couple of these things a couple times, but as an entrepreneur, I'll say it again. You have to do this. You're trying to find business leaders and business partners. You're not trying to be a manager and manage them. If that was the case, you could fire them. And trust me, I'm sure you probably have wanted to fire a couple coaches in your lifetime, right? Yeah. Amen on that one. Also, you must create a work-life balance. That will allow you to wake up and be happy, excited, ready for the day at hand. You won't be on that hamster wheel that just constantly goes and goes and goes and goes. Also, like I said, you need to focus on each bucket until the task is completed. Then what you do, you walk away and you're good. You're beach by the time, you're good. Your team starts to realize your business hours. And they know that you'll get back to them first thing in the morning because that's your business hours. All right? But I can't stress that enough. You move on and you create the life by design that I'm sure your number one bucket is going to be your personal or your family time. And that's what you're doing this entire thing for. Okay. What questions do you guys have on buckets?
I don't really have any questions, but this is a good reminder. And I know, I've been in this business a long time and it's so easy to fall into management mode. And that's what I've done lately. Yeah. So yeah, it's just getting a kickstart to get out of that.
Thanks for being honest. It's true, yeah. And if you do it right now, your goal for 2016, January 1st won't be, you're going to set yourself up for success right now. And then that will just continue. Your momentum will drive and it will make 2016 an amazing year for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love the bucket idea. I was horrible my first year and a half as a coach. Like, I'll be honest, I half-assed every single thing I did. And I would bring my phone to the kitchen table and listen to team calls on speakerphone. Wouldn't be able to chit chat with any of my, my family or anything about how their day was. And I realized, I don't want my coaches to be doing this because at that time, it seemed like all my coaches, all their spouses had something bad to say, you know, like they weren't supportive. And I was like, well, I wonder why, because I'm dedicating every single ounce of my life to half-assing everything. And I'm teaching my coaches to do the same thing. And so when I like kicked my own rear and realized you can't devote half the time to something, you know, you're not being fair to your family. You're not being fair to the people that are reaching out to you or that you're reaching out to them. You're not giving your all. And so.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I can share a concept from Shalene Johnson's Smart Success that can help with this a lot. And it's helped me quite a bit. And so basically what you want to do is you want to make 2 lists. And you want to make your first list of everything you do in a day. And that's, I mean, there's business, cooking food, laundry, everything. And then what you want to do on the second list is everything you do in a day that actually makes you money. So if you have your job, your beach body, all that stuff. So the second list, you take that, you divide it by the hours you're working to make that money. That's your actual sort of monetary worth right now. So let's say you're worth like $60 an hour. Go back to the first list. Now star only the items that must be you. And it's really hardly anything. It's really like eating your food, getting your workout in, spending time with your family, and interacting with your runners, maybe, you know, like 3 or 4 things on your entire list. The rest really let's say to ease the stress of some of you who are freaking out, in a perfect world, it doesn't need to be you. Like you don't have to cook your own food. You don't have to do your own laundry. You don't have to post on social media yourself all the time, right? So then you delegate all that stuff, because here's the thing. Right now, if you're not delegating those things, you're paying yourself $60 an hour to do those things. And you can easily find somebody who's going to do that for a lot less.
Hot dang.
So I hired a VA, and she cost me maybe between $38 and $40 a week. And I have her do social media posts. Now I still do mine as well, but she does a lot of my social media posts that don't have to be me, because I gave her rules like find some personal development quotes, do some healthy recipes, you know, do the Beachbody blog posts, those kind of easy things. She also builds my Fit Dude Food Instagram by finding other healthy food Instagrams and featuring them. She helps build my regular Instagram and my Twitter and all my social media. And on and on and on. And so you can hire people out to do anything. I've got, like my cousin hires a girl that goes and buys their food, cooks their food. You know, I've got another one that a friend of mine that she just puts her laundry on her front porch, and that's done for the week. You know, you can find these things, and you're going to save money and have much more time to not only build your business, but spend time with your family.
Very true. One of the Shalene's, I mean, if you haven't read Push, that's exactly what this is. But that will even help you with, it's okay to not have to clean your house, you know, to find somebody to clean your house.
Yeah,
and that's as easy as starting with that. When you tell a woman she no longer has to clean her house as much, big weight. Yeah, exactly. Big weight lifted off your shoulders. So you find what works for you. And eventually when you get to the rank where you're like, wow, I need 12 hands, then I get it. But as of right now, focus on the little things that can definitely help you. If it's your laundry, if it's your house, meal prep, whatever it is, and start, you know, delegating that out. It's okay to delegate. It's actually great to delegate.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. What other questions do you guys have before we wrap up this call?
Well, I just want to say, I think this has been great. It's been a reminder for me that I have to be better. When I bought my planner this year, I bought the colored markers, and I have not used them. So this is really good, because these just sit on my desk, and they look really pretty, but they came with the planner. So, see? Yeah. So you haven't opened the box.
Yeah, you need to open up that box, John.
That's a free gift from my coach.
Oh, there you go.
I actually think part of my problem is I spend too much time with my old coaches. And when I think back of why they were so successful that first year, and they all make Success Club, and it's just in there, ingrained in them, and I'm still really attached to them. And for some reason, I'm struggling this year with my new coaches. And I think I have got to, my old coaches, they're big girls now. They got it. And I just think I spend too much time in that big team that I built, and not enough time in my personally sponsored page. Does that make sense? Like, it's been a struggle.
Absolutely. And what will show you, Marsha, to be a leader is when you start adding brand new coaches into that team page, when you start highlighting a ton of recognition, when they're starting to see this momentum and excitement of newness coming, that's when you're a leader. When you're not adding to your page and you're expecting your team to do it, they won't. They'll follow exactly what you do, even at an emerald level. They'll shift their focus. So this is a perfect opportunity because right now it's August, 18th? August 17th. This is your opportunity to get it down, to master it, to focus on what you want to change. And when that January 1st, 2016 rolls out, you're like, I already got my goals. I already got my ambitions. I already got what I'm going to accomplish. That is a huge stress reliever, right? So learn it now, master it, and make 2016 an amazing year as far as buckets go. You'll know where to allot your time. Okay. Woohoo! So I'm going to post a couple things in our page, and what this is all about is really, like I said, I want to know what program you're doing. I want to know what book you're reading. I want to know your game time throughout the end of the year. I also want to know as far as what are your business hours? What are you doing to set up business hours? I don't want you to work more than 8 hours a day. I have some coaches that are like, yeah, Brittany, I can do 10 to 12. And I will tell you, what you could do in 4 to 6, you could do in that amount of time if you put your phone on airplane mode. If you Zoom focus, stop the Facebook scrolling. On my last call, a couple of my coaches were like, the best thing I did was turn off Facebook notifications. Whatever you have to do, log out of Facebook to Zoom focus. I don't care. Just do it. Also, I think it really comes down to you may want to accomplish the world, but you'll accomplish so little if you don't Zoom focus and do the 4 to 6 hours that you allot yourself, and then create that life by design that you're wanting to create. Okay, so I'll do a couple of posts within our group, just kind of see where you guys are at, and I want you guys to really gut check yourself. Be honest. It's like when we were doing that Chrome plugin. Yep, kill Facebook. I've heard that a couple of times. Thank you.
What is that?
Yeah, can you explain that really quick, John?
It's just, if you're on Google Chrome, you just Google kill Facebook newsfeed plugin, and you can install it, and it kills your newsfeed. There's no more newsfeed. And
I have that.
You'll have all your pages and all your favorite groups and all that to the side. It's just the middle's blank. So there's nothing distracting you.
Yeah, I have the newsfeed eradicator. I think it's probably the same thing. Yeah. That's been amazing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm a scroller. It's horrible. It's like squirrel,
But you know what? What I learned from, I think it was Mike Ryan that talked about Carly Del Carlo, what she does to benefit from scrolling is reach out, connect with those messages. Like if someone does a post, you could be like, oh, I seen that you went to blah, blah, blah today. And then that's your new relationship that you're building.
Yeah, I still do that on here. I still do it on my phone, but if I'm on my laptop, then I can get away from it.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Very cool. Well, I am.
Hey, Brittany, this is Shannon. I just had a question.
Yeah, Shannon, what's up?
Hey, thanks. This was awesome info. I loved it. I'm just curious. I went through Shalene Johnson's Smart Success and I loved it. But I would love to hear from the group, like just other feedback on personal assistants, virtual assistants. I don't know if in the group we could do a post of what people have used and how it's been effective, but I'd love to hear people's input on that.
Absolutely. So I'll do that as a call to action as well with my post. I'll just say, what are you guys using? Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you. Hey guys, I'll be in the office Monday and Tuesday, and then I'm traveling the rest of the week. So if you need anything, just remember I'm a message away, but please know where you are at. Know your SC base, know your buckets, how you're going to implement this. The whole beauty of these calls is to get off of the calls and create an action. What am I going to do to better myself? What am I going to do to know more knowledge? How am I going to teach this to my team? I've had so many coaches that have actually taken the buckets trainings to their teams and said, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to focus. So whatever it is, take it to your team. Don't ever leave any info behind. Let them propel and excel because they truly will. All right, coaches. Hey, thank you for jumping on. Please be on time next time so that we can end even earlier. All right, but we still did this call within 30, so that was awesome.
Thank you, Brittany.
Thanks, guys. Have a great, great day, okay?
Bye.
See you
Bye.
later.